So single stacks have kind of put our channel on the map, and we have used these guns and reviewed these guns quite extensively over the past 2 years of being on YouTube. Today I'm going to take my experience with these guns and compile them into a top 5 list. So hopefully this will be enjoyable for you guys. I've had so many questions, mainly because we've done so many videos with single stacks, of which one do you like the best. So if I continue to get the question in the future, I'm sure I will. I'll lead you over to this video and hopefully it'll help you guys out. If you're not familiar with who we are, my name is Headshot and welcome to our channel. Concealed carry videos, gun reviews, that's what we are about. And our channel is changing. This is June 2016. We're gonna start getting into more rifle reviews. We actually have a place to shoot outdoors consistently now. So it's gonna be awesome. But pistol reviews are at a core of what we do. So hopefully you will enjoy this list. If you're not familiar with our channel, Holster Holsters and Core Essentials gun belts, the reviews for those will be down below. These are our primary everyday carry gear. It's quality and it's discounted, and those two go hand in hand with what we do. 15% off a Holster, $10 off of Core Essentials gun belts. It's quality gear, and just ask the 1,100 people who have bought from Holster. It's awesome stuff, and you guys have access to that. And make sure you subscribe. I've been doing some research, like how many people say, oh man, awesome channel, great video, but they're not subscribed. Just subscribe down below. That is the best way to support our channel, and I appreciate everything you guys do for us. So here we go. Top 5 single stacks. This list has actually changed. I wrote the notes out for this video 3 months ago, and the list has changed. So we may talk about that a little bit. So a lot of people ask why single stacks are so popular, and one thing you got to keep in mind is that a lot of people, you know, cannot be seen with their gun. But more importantly, a lot of people will not carry a bigger gun. So I see a lot of people in comments on our videos and stuff and say, well, why would you carry that compared to a Glock 26 or a M&P compact or something like that? And I find it kind of funny because if you're carrying, you're already in the right direction. And you know, I know sometimes, like with us, over time, once I've perfected my system and got that, you know, part of it down, I've been able to jump up to bigger guns as well and be more comfortable with it. But single stacks are an amazing option. No matter what somebody tells you on the internet, they are great options. And you know, as long as you carry an extra magazine, which I definitely am a big proponent of, then you'll be good to go. Single stacks definitely have their place. As far as the criteria for my list, all these guns are reliable. I don't see you having an issue with any one of them. They've been out for a while, and these manufacturers are very solid. Also, keep in mind there are lots of other single stacks on the market that are really good options, but these are ones that I have personal experience with. I don't like talking about guns that I've never shot before or never carried. All these guns I've carried, all these guns I've shot extensively, so you can trust that that I definitely know what I'm talking about when it comes to this list. And I'm also going to be able to tell you pros and cons with each of these guns. I'm not going to go into full detail reviews of these guns because I have extensive reviews and comparisons on all these guns, but I will give you a rundown of the pros and the cons with each gun, where they're made, price points as of June 2016, so that way you have some more information to go off of. So it will be a little bit longer of a video, but trust me, I think you'll get some really good information out of it. Number 5 is the Glock 43. So this gun has been in and out of my rotation a little bit, and this gun excels at the size of gun it is. And I always compliment Glock, even though I'm not a Glock fanboy. I always compliment them on the size to weight, and most of the time capacity ratio. Now this gun is substandard when you compare it to like the LC9S and the XDS and the PF9, which holds 7+1. There of course are base plate extensions for this gun, but overall it feels great in the hand. It's a decent shooter. It carries very comfortably, and if you're in a position where you absolutely cannot have your gun seen, this gun is going to be a great choice because of how light it actually is. The prices on these have actually dropped from the beginning. Some of these guns sold for $600 and more when they first came out in 2015. The prices have settled down. This is probably going to be one of the most expensive on this list though, at around 450 bucks. If you're law enforcement and military, you actually get that awesome discount, or GSSF members as well. So great feel in the hand, decent shooter, and aftermarket support for these guns. There's not going to be another gun on this list that's going to have more aftermarket support than the Glock 43. There's just so many of them out there. Cons for the Glock 43, the sights for me suck, replace them. It is one of the more expensive single stacks. 6+1 capacity is substandard for these kind of guns, but it's not, you know, a deal killer. Sometimes the mags don't want to drop that easily, so not a lot of cons with this gun. It is a great gun. Number 4 is the XDS. Now this is a polished, very polished gun. One of the most polished guns that I've seen that comes from the factory with the feed ramp and the way they do their magazines. If you get the non-essentials package, you get this really awesome big gun case that comes with a magazine pouch and an outside the waistband holster. And these guns have dropped significantly. When I bought mine a couple years ago, they were $500 and up. And now you can get the essentials package that just comes with the gun and 2 magazines, I believe, for $399. So the prices have dropped. They're more reasonable now. Great shooter, comes with fiber optic sights on it. The trigger is very decent. Unfortunately, I don't have any really good shooting footage of this gun. That was very early in our shooting career. I went back and watched the video. It's pretty embarrassing, so I'm not going to show it. You can go and take a look at it if you want to, but it does not represent what that gun can actually do. But very, very solid gun, and one that when I left it out of our ultimate single stack shootout video, a lot of people were like, dude, where is the XDS? And if I had the money or a way to get that gun, it would have been in that shootout video. We may revisit it at some time in the future, but excellent gun. Cons on it, it's heavy for a single stack. So as opposed to a 17-ounce Glock 43, it's around 21, 22 ounces. May not sound like a lot, but inside the waistband, 10 hours a day, if you're carrying every day like you should be, you start to notice it. All right, now our system has changed a lot since then. Back then, I won't say names, but we were trying different holsters that are very uncomfortable, no gun belt. So, you know, it seemed more uncomfortable than what it actually is, I feel, because our system is a little bit more refined now with the holster and the gun belts that we wear. Keep that in mind. If you're watching this video, you're probably looking at concealed carry. Awesome quality gun belt and holster. Remember that. It will make a huge difference. So really, it's a little bit on the heavier side, which actually leads to a softer shooting gun. But for inside the waistband, it could be a little bit heavy. And the grip texture, I find that most people, when they shoot it, after excessive shooting, it can get a little aggressive in the hand for sure. So it's something that you definitely want to keep in mind. Now, number 3 on the list is the LC9S Pro. One thing I wanted to mention with the previous 2 guns, the Glock 43 is made in Austria and they're being made in the USA. The XDS is made in Croatia. The LC9S Pro is made right here in the USA, and out of all the guns on this list, it has absolutely the best trigger, period. This gun is amazing, and Ruger kind of took a step in the right direction with this gun. Most of their handguns have had magazine disconnects, they've had safeties everywhere on the gun. This gun actually lets you be in control of the gun without being lawyered up with all these kind of safeties. No magazine disconnect, you can get it with or without a manual safety, and the gun is just awesome. Very, very reasonable price too. Now I've seen some of the like Muddy Girl camo editions go for sub $300. Right now you can find them for $300 to $320. It's an amazing gun. They really did really good things with this gun. Ruger reliability, and it's very rugged. And from their customer service, when I did that Ruger LC9S video, I was concerned because in the manual they don't really promote a warranty. I had so many people tell me how great the service at Ruger was. That could either scare you because a lot of guns are getting sent back, or it can make you feel confident in knowing that they are going to help you. I would go with the latter. I think that they're a great American company, and I love their products, man. I love what they do, and with the LC9S, it really, at least with the Pro model, it really set them up to move away from the stuff that they had done in the past with like the SR9, in guns like that, with just too many safeties, too much going on. So really great gun. As far as cons, this is going to be on the lighter side as well, which is great for inside the waistband carry. At the range, you may find it a little bit snappy in your hand, but it's not unmanageable. It only comes with one magazine. I think they should seriously update that. Send 2 magazines. That's what most manufacturers do anyways, at least with pistols. So, but that's pretty much it. Number 2, PPS M2, the Walther PPS M2. This gun came out early 2016. We reviewed it. We loved it. Absolutely amazing shooter, and what they took from the original PPS, they updated the grip, they updated the trigger, and it's just an overall amazing shooting gun. Now this is one of those guns, they are made in Germany, and they will come in around $400. So for $400 you're getting an amazing gun, feels great in the hand, just a very awesome gun, and it shoots like a bigger gun. I mean really, when you take this gun to the range and you're firing it, you're like, I cannot believe this is a single stack gun. So just really amazing. As far as cons, you're not gonna find many with this gun. There's not a whole lot of sight options, but original PPS sights will work on this gun. And for left-handed users, it may not be as user-friendly. You can't swap the magazine release. The slide stop isn't on the other side. So that's just something to consider, but overall, for $400, they really hit the market at a really great time. And in my opinion, in my hands, the best shooting gun, or the best shooting single stack in this category, hands down. I absolutely love it. So what could be number 1 if I feel that the PPS is the best shooter in my hands? Well, this is a gun that I've talked about so many times in the past. If you're familiar with the channel, you know exactly what it is, the M&P Shield. I recognize the M&P Shield as the best gun because of its merits. 4 years, thousands, millions. These guys have sold like 1 million shields. And how many of these guns are reliable? The aftermarket support is excellent. We've had our gun, we've put 1,500 rounds through our original shield, and it just keeps going. It definitely shoots like a bigger gun, not as good as trigger as the PPS, but you're talking about a 4-year-old design. They're coming out with new ones. It's just amazing. The value on this gun, I don't think you could beat it. It comes with 2 magazines, and it also is sub 350 bucks. Sometimes I've seen them as low as 300. So you're getting an amazing value, even at $350 or $400. It's an amazing deal. And these guns, to me, just own the single stack market. They give you a lot for your money. They are made in the USA with a lifetime warranty. Not a whole lot of negatives on this gun. Speaking of negatives, it is a gun to me that I had to take some time with when we first got it. You know, when I first got it, I was like, I don't really see what's so great about this. But we were very new when we got that gun, so I had to give myself time to learn it, to understand it. And I feel a lot of people are going to be the same way with the Shield, or have been, where they pick it up for the first time. They're like, well, I don't see what's so great. But you really have to just learn it. It is very similar to the bigger brother M&Ps, but you just have to kind of get a feel for the gun, for the trigger. They definitely have improved the trigger, it seems, through different versions over the past 4 years. And you know, you can add whatever kind of trigger you want. Apex is very synonymous with M&P guns in general. Sights, whatever you want to do. As far as negatives, it's a little rough around the edges. The slide can be a little bit, you know, finicky, pulling it back. Not as far as it not working, but just as far as it's just a little bit very unrefined. It's probably the best unrefined gun out there. I've said that multiple times. But overall, I still think it's the best value that you can get for your money in an everyday carry single stack. M&P Shield wins. Now, what out of these guns, which ones have I kept? I'm going to tell you right now. The PPS. The PPS M2 specifically, this gun really, for me, is the best shooting single stack in my hands. And with the way the grip texture is and everything about this gun, the front cocking serrations, it looks good, but it shoots even better. It's been reliable, and a bunch of people have these guns in their hands and are reporting the same exact thing. They did an incredible job on this gun. The original PPS, I shot it well, I felt, but I wasn't as fond of it as I am this. This is more like a small PPQ. It just feels great. For 400 bucks, I love this gun. The Glock 43, that gun I have bought and sold twice now. I actually sold the Glock 43 this past time for Glock 26. I feel this gun, compared to the 43, offers you more, but more importantly, I shoot this gun way better. Review coming soon. Great gun, great gun. But the 43 for me, it's just really hard for me to shoot well. I don't know if it's the trigger or the trigger with combination with the sight picture. I just don't shoot it well. The recoil doesn't bother me. I just don't shoot that gun well. Don't know what else I can say about it. I just don't. LC9S Pro. I sold this gun to a friend of mine, and I just needed something else for the channel. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I just needed to buy another gun for the channel. I think I got 325 bucks out of it, or whatever it was, maybe 300 bucks. I just needed to buy something else. That's the only reason I got rid of the gun. It's an amazing gun. I would definitely recommend it. It's small, it's light, but it's very shootable. Amazing trigger. The XDS. The XDS was, again, one of those guns. We were very early on in our career. We had to, in our shooting career, and we had to sell something to get something. We still have to do that occasionally. So we just had to do it at that time. We had to sell it. Great gun. A little bit heavy, but definitely a great gun. We may revisit that one in the future. And then the M&P Shield. This is Mrs. Headshot's everyday carry. It's just been a solid gun. I mean, everything about this gun is just solid. I shoot the PPS better than I do this gun, but that still doesn't take away the merits of this gun, in my opinion, giving you the most for your money, very reliable and very solid. The one that I carry every day is the Performance Center. Fiber optic sights. They clean the trigger up a little bit, so I find that I shoot this one actually better than the original Shield. Now keep in mind, when I start talking about triggers, I do like a really good trigger, but I'm not necessarily a trigger snob. I feel like with any platform, you should be able to pick it up and shoot it decent. And I feel like with all these guns on this list, I can shoot it decent. I'm just talking about the guns that I actually shoot better and why. All of these guns, for what they're designed to do, you're going to be able to hit your target. They're very, very, very solid guns. But these are the guns that I've kept out of this list. Told you guys why. If you were to pick any one of these guns, you're going to be doing really great for everyday carry. Like I said, a good holster, a good gun belt, and you're going to find yourself carrying a lot more than you ever did before. A lot of people talk crap about these guns. They say, oh man, I carry a full-size Glock 19 with 4 extra magazines every day, dude. How do you carry something so small? Internet talk is so cheap. It is so cheap. I guarantee you they are not carrying exactly what they say. So just keep that in mind. These guns provide something very comfortable to shoot, or they provide something very comfortable to carry, yet giving you enough firepower to actually protect yourself if you had to. So this is reasonable for most people, whereas, you know, a Glock 19, which I know a lot of people do actually carry, I was just using that as an example, but you know, a bigger frame gun, a steel frame gun, most people are going to be more inclined to leave those guns at home than they would something like this. So don't let people talk you into, you know, a gun that you're not comfortable with. These guns that I've listed are definitely going to be great options for you if you decide to actually carry them. That's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the list. If you have any comments or suggestions or what your list is down below, let us know in the comments. We'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, hold them down.